both police and school officials notified parents of these children that an emergency situation existed, had happened at the school, and that they needed to come and pick up their children. So in the meantime, the assistant principal told us that while waiting, students spent their time praying for their classmates, praying for their school, and praying that their parents would arrive safely to pick them up. And that's what's been happening all afternoon long as police, and then I should mention that while this was going on, police asked for mutual aid, Kansas City, Missouri, to help them interview witnesses and identify a suspect. Through the process of these two police departments in the Missouri Highway Patrol working together, a suspect, we're told, was quickly identified. Kansas City police had a good idea of where to look for that suspect, and an arrest was made on the west side of Kansas City on Southwest Boulevard out in front of Don's Liquor Store a short time after this shooting incident. And police tell us they're confident that the suspect that they arrested on Southwest Boulevard is the man that they believe is responsible for the shooting incident out here at St. James Catholic Church.
All right, John, and in fact, that is the scene we are looking at right now. In effect, John, what you have are two separate crime scenes. One is at the school itself, which is where you are.
That's right.
Detectives are doing their work at that scene. And then the scene we are looking at now is a live look at the 3000 block of Southwest Boulevard, where the arrest of the suspect was made in Kansas City, Missouri at Don's Liquor. We understand that suspect was then transported to Clay County, to Liberty, by Kansas City, Missouri authorities. And I understand we have some video now of the police van as it was seen leaving the Clay County detention facility there, where the suspect was taken and is presumably at this hour being held. As you indicated as well, the child, the sibling who apparently witnessed this double shooting at St. James Catholic School there in Liberty, also at the police department there in Liberty, and is being questioned by detectives.
That's right, and police tell me that the information she's providing has been very helpful. They said she's given them a clearer picture of what they believe transpired out here at the school today. Police, at least the police spokesman out here, still a little unclear about whether that girl was outside the school when the shooting happened. We think that was the case. As to the Southwest Boulevard crime scene that we just showed a short time ago, the next big event to occur there is the execution of a search warrant. I'm told by Liberty Police that they are waiting to obtain a search warrant to search a vehicle that the suspect was driving, and there it is. The suspect's vehicle, I'm told, remains at that crime scene, and police are waiting for a search warrant before they search that vehicle in hopes of obtaining a handgun, a weapon that was used in the shootings up here. Police tell me they don't know if they necessarily are required to obtain a search warrant, but they'd rather be safe than sorry. They think the most legal way to proceed is to obtain that search warrant first and then search the vehicle.
Absolutely. In vehicles, it's often you can go in generally, particularly if the weapon is in plain view, but they have the luxury now of time.
That's right. They said they're in no hurry.
Right.
The car's not going anywhere.
Right.
They retain custody of it, and they'll wait as long as it takes to get that warrant.
John, set the scene for us there now. I indicated the crime scene behind you, and the scene for parents has shifted, and we want to emphasize children are safe. They were taken to the theater complex, which is near the school there. So what is the activity there? I assume that it will be a while as the authorities there continue to work that crime scene.
That's right. Let's take a live look at what's happening behind me. I'm going to ask our photographer to zoom in to what police have identified as the crime scene. There is another section of crime scene tape, a much smaller area cordoned off. Where we are has been cordoned off, But but as you can see, right in front of the gymnasium of this school, or the entrance to this school, there it is from Skyfox. There is another area cordoned off, and police have told me that that's where the shooting occurred. You know, we keep talking about the parking lot, but it is literally at the, practically at the front door of the school, literally right off the walkway where the walkway meets the parking lot. And police describe a procedure of diagramming the crime scene, which is what they say is taking place right now. Nowadays, they use a lot of mapping technology. They draw maps and to be used in court at a later time, and that's what I'm told is taking place now. In addition to gathering evidence, recovering shell casings, getting samples of blood, that sort of thing. It's a slow, tedious process, but that's what we're seeing detectives do in combination with questioning witnesses back at the police department. Usually it's a combination of the physical evidence obtained at the scene in conjunction with witness reports of what transpired that help police establish the most accurate picture they can of what may have transpired here this afternoon. The big question in terms of why this happened is we don't know what sparked this argument between this couple. We don't know what this argument was about. It simply has been described as a domestic dispute between a mother and a father that apparently happened this morning, and then after the morning, the mother decided to come to this school and take her children out during the lunch hour, 12:30 p.m. We think that she brought both children out at about 12:30 when she was confronted by the father of those children. An argument or fight, as it has been described to me, took place within shouting distance. The boy, shot and killed. The mother shot and injured. A friend who was accompanying them apparently may have witnessed this transpire. School officials told us in an interview told police that no one else was out in the parking lot at the time. They did lock down the school and notify police, and police did take custody of this boy's sister, and she is currently being interviewed, and we're told providing a lot of information to help police learn just what exactly happened out here this afternoon.
And John, we began a few moments ago, I asked you about the relationships here. Have we confirmed, in fact, that this is a nuclear family as opposed to a stepfather type situation, or do you have any insight on that from the authorities there?
How police have described it to me is that they believe that the suspect is the father of this child. They believe that the woman shot is the mother of this child. Whether this couple was married is unclear. Okay. But it appears to have involved the father and the mother of this child.
All right. I'll tell you what, John, if you want to take a break and if there are any updates you can gather for us, we will let you do that, and we'll sort of recap and set the scene here. We have some other pictures we want to show folks as well. John Pepitone is live at St. James, and John, we will check back with you again in just a few moments, or get back to us as soon as you have some new information as well. Thank you very much. At the scene, since shortly after it occurred, St. James Catholic School there, just off I-35, just south of 152 Highway. John, what can you tell us? Anything new?
Yeah, John, I just want to tell you that I've just learned, confirmed from Liberty Police, that the boy who was shot and killed, I know I had said earlier that he may have been as young as 5. Police now clarifying that age for me. This boy, we're told, was a 4th grader at St. James Catholic School here. Again, police confirming now, they say they know for sure the boy was in 4th grade. I'm not sure how old that would make him. I don't have kids that old. John, do you know what a 4th grader is?
That would, well, it would be probably about 8 or 9 years old, yeah.
Yeah, what they're saying for sure is they know that the boy that was shot and killed was a 4th grader. Yeah. They believe that his sister, the girl currently being questioned by Liberty Police, is a little bit younger. All
right, that may have been where the 5-year-old indication came. John, can you give us any indication? You talked, and this may be a question that you can't answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway at this point, because obviously we're trying to get as much information here as we can. You indicated that St. James went into lockdown.
That's right.
And then other schools in Liberty went into lockdown as well. Now, the kids at St. James have been allowed to leave. They were taken to the Liberty 12. What about the other schools in Liberty? Any indication as to what their status is right now? They would presumably be letting out.
That's right. The last time I talked to Lieutenant Meisenhalter, it was about 3 o'clock or just after 3 o'clock, and he said that those schools would be letting out now.
Okay.
So I believe that they, although he didn't specifically say it, how I interpreted his comments was they dismissed normally at the end of their day, but they were in lockdown all afternoon, that being nobody was getting out and nobody was getting in until the end of their school day.
John, if you could, and this would be for the benefit of those who are just tuning in, because obviously our coverage has been ongoing throughout the afternoon, and some of it does bear repeating because people tune in throughout the afternoon. If you could recap for us, you arrived on the scene shortly after it happened, and you described earlier a rather chilling scene of parents. Recap that for us, set the scene for us.
Well, as you can see here, and I'm going to move over here to the entrance, the driveway that leads to St. James Catholic School, it's blocked off with crime scene tape. And what was happening when I arrived is people were pulling onto the grassy road, running this driveway to where the crime tape was. And just a few hours ago, there were police officers blocking the entrance. There was a Missouri State Trooper and Kansas City, Missouri police officers, in fact, 2 deputy police chiefs blocking the entrance. And as I came up, like I wanted to try to learn what I could as quickly as possible, so I ran up to a sergeant, a state trooper I saw, who I thought could provide me with some information. At the same time, there were 2 women racing me to this man, and I sensed that they were parents, and they were. And so I let them go first, and they approached this trooper and said, where are my kids? I need to pick up my daughter. And I could tell they were coming from work because I noticed they were wearing, security work ID badges and security cards, and they were very anxious, pretty panicked mothers. And the trooper was very good about saying, hey, look, everything's okay. The kids are being held at the B&B theaters, I guess is what they're calling it now. I had gone off the name, off the sign here, it says Liberty 12 Cinema, but according to school officials, they're now calling it the B&B theaters. And so these parents, were calmed down, relieved, but quickly continued moving quickly to go and pick up their children. And I don't know if you saw the videotape that one of our photographers, Pat Holloway, shot earlier this afternoon, but it's pretty emotional, especially those first...
I just want my kids.
Okay, go to the kids are fine.
They're in there, right?
Go to the theater that corresponds with you.
Yeah, that's the part I'm talking about,
Right.
that first 5 seconds, and I hate to talk over that because that's pretty emotional dialogue, and I think that's how anyone would feel. I just want to find my kid. And that's sort of the universal reaction that I'm hearing from parents that we've talked to who have come here.
Right. All right, John Pepitone live at St. James for us. John, thanks for the update. And in fact, let's shift the scene to that Liberty 12 complex, and that is where Sean Conroy is right now. Sean, bring us up to speed on what's happening there.
Well, John, good news. All the kids, we're told, are out of the theater and are safely home tonight. You saw some of it there. That really spoke more than I can, but a lot of frantic. You have kids. Every parent out here who has kids would be worried about that. A lot of parents running up with, white faces. They had one thing on their mind, their children. Coming back out, you could sense a sense of relief, but more so a sense of really being uptight. As you can see there, a lot of hugs, a lot of people in a hurry to get their kids in the car and get home to safety. A lot of worried faces, like I said. A lot of other people on the phone talking to relatives, because a lot of people don't know where exactly. Maybe one parent would come and the other parent would be at home, so there's a lot of communication in that regard. But all the kids are home. Some parents I talked with very pleased with the plan. They said it worked very well. They got the kids to safety. The lockdown worked, and no other kid was put in harm's way here. So very relieved, but like I said, very uneasy folks coming out here tonight.
Sean, I think John Pepitone indicated at one point the student population, there was a little over 300 or so, and did I hear you correctly say that all of the kids are home now, or they have been picked up?
That's what the Clay County Sheriff's Department is telling us. Good news.
Right.
Obviously, you don't want to have any children left in there. They sometimes depend on each other. They're each other's rock in there. But
Right.
yeah, perfect plan in that they had this theater right down the street with a lot of seating available that they could keep an eye on all the children. And apparently, like I said, parents were very, very very pleased with the plan for the most part.
All right, Sean Conroy at the Liberty 12 complex there where the children were taken. Sean, thank you, and we'll hear from you again as we continue our coverage tonight on Fox 4 News at 5 o'clock, as well as later editions of Fox 4 News. If we could take another look at the scenes, and we'll sort of recap what has been a very long and tragic day in the Northland St. James Catholic School. This is the scene. It actually, according to police, all began earlier this morning when a mother and father argued, apparently at home or at another location, not the school. The mother then went to the school to pick up the children, 2 children, a boy and a girl. The father confronted her as she was leaving the school there. Shots were fired. We are now told, John Pepitone confirming through authorities, that a 4th grade boy was the victim who died there of gunshot wounds. The mother, wounded as well, transported to a hospital where we were told earlier she has been undergoing surgery. We do not know her condition. We do not know the status of that surgery at this point. Another child, a sister, who police apparently believe witnessed all or part of the shooting there at the school, St. James Catholic School, around 12:30 today, was taken by police, was questioned or is being questioned. We don't know her whereabouts right now. And according to John Pepitone, the police, they're telling him she was very helpful in helping them put the pieces of this puzzle together. The puzzle continued to come together as we shift scenes now. This is Don's Liquor on Southwest Boulevard. The puzzle continued to come together when authorities received a call from someone a tipster who told them they had received a call from the suspect and that's where he would be. He had gone inside the liquor store, and now we are told by Janice Shortle and Captain Lockhart at the scene there, earlier indications he was arrested inside the store, but the word now is he was arrested in that vehicle, the Jeep Cherokee that you see there parked outside of Don's Liquor there on Southwest Boulevard. He did not offer any resistance, was taken into custody, and was transported to Clay County. He is being questioned by Liberty Police there right now. The reason that vehicle is sitting there, and you're looking at a live shot now of the scene from Don's Liquor Store on Southwest Boulevard with the door open, that is exactly how they found the vehicle. They have taken the liberty of contacting the Jackson County Circuit Court system. They are in the process of getting a search warrant, which would go through the prosecutor's office and then to a circuit judge there, and then they will execute that search warrant. At some point, we are told by Captain Lockhart, the latest information from Jana Shortle at that scene is that vehicle, that Jeep, will be towed or transported to another location, apparently to be searched and processed is what the term they used. A Liberty police officer is on the scene there. Both jurisdictions working very, very closely together. Also, the Missouri Highway Patrol, sheriff's departments are involved. But a Liberty police officer is at that scene right now, sort of to maintain what's known in legal circles as the chain of custody, to make sure that later, if this goes to trial, he can testify that indeed that custody was never out of, or that evidence, I should say, was never out of anyone's sight or custody for purposes of keeping the evidence clean at trial. So if we could just sort of recap here again, if you're just joining us, and many of you may be just getting home from your own activities, school or work, the shooting occurring at St. James Catholic School at around 12:30 this afternoon. Apparently a domestic dispute spilling over from another location off campus to that location where shots were fired. We now confirm that a 4th grade boy was killed, the son of the mother and father involved in the domestic dispute. Another little girl, we do not have her age. We believe she was younger. Authorities believe she was younger, or reporting that she was. We don't have an age. Apparently witnessed all or part of it. She was questioned or is being questioned by authorities, and very helpful apparently. The mother is being treated at an area hospital. She was in surgery at last word. We do not have her condition. We are not releasing names. We don't have names, although in that tight-knit community, no doubt by now, people know who the victims are and who the parties of this incident are. This is, again, a sort of a map to give you a perspective on where this all occurred, beginning in another part of the metro, then culminating in a shooting at St. James Catholic School. The suspect then arrested later at Don's Liquor on Southwest Boulevard there. And again, authorities working very closely together. We heard John Pepitone indicate that the Highway Patrol was at the scene. Kansas City, Missouri police were at the scene at St. James Catholic School. as well as presumably other law enforcement officials. The all points bulletin for the suspect went out metro-wide. We listened in as authorities let everybody know as they searched frantically for that suspect, ultimately arrested there in the 3000 block of Southwest Boulevard. Want to put up one more time as we begin to wrap up our coverage here. The toll-free number, or I should say toll-free number, the local number, the hotline, which is available for anyone who might have ties to the school, not a general public number, 816-781-4428. But the good news, as we heard from Sean Conroy, is that all of the children are accounted for and have been picked up from the movie theater there, the theater complex in Liberty, where they were taken immediately following the shooting. We are going to take a pause, wrap up our coverage now of this tragic afternoon in Liberty. We will, of course, continue up tonight on Fox 4 News at 5 at 6, and as well as later editions of Fox 4 News. For now, back to regular programming. I'm John Holt, Fox 4 News.